everyone, so someone on my second YouTube channel asked me to do a ranking of Brandy's albums. I said, you know, it's more of a main channel thing. I figured I would do it this week. And so, yeah, let's get into it. At number 8, I'm going to put her 211 album. So, had to re-listen to this one for the video, of course. And my takeaways from it, I think that this is ridiculously dated. It came out 2012. It sounds like 2012. The production is just dreadful to listen to, in my opinion. Vocal performances are decent, which is to be given, I feel. Songwriting on here wasn't great. I just did not enjoy this album. I don't think that it's aged well. And I don't think it has that nostalgic feel where you can appreciate it for the time. It sounds a little dated, but you can forgive it. I don't think it has that either. I don't like this album, I don't. And after re-listening to it, the talk of people saying that this is a top 3 Brandy album and skip list and all this stuff, it sounds even more blasphemous. How do you guys think that this album is good? I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't respect it. I don't appreciate it. I don't like this record. I don't like this record. The only song I liked was Wildest Dreams. It's the only song I liked. I didn't listen to that song with Fistifer because no free clout. Fuck out of here. Y'all know I don't like that man. Now to number 7, I'm going to put her Human album. So this came out right after the car accident that she had, and that was a whole situation and everything. So people were very much looking at her away because of that. She got a lot of hate and backlash for the situation. So the thing with this album is it's actually worse than I remembered. Like, I remember thinking about, like, this was a good album. It's not a good album, okay? And so the only reason I put this above 211 was because I liked a few more songs on it. It was a little bit easier for me to get through, but it's not a good album, okay? So some of my favorite songs on this, absolutely love Torn Down. That is the best song in the album. When listening to this album, it very much kind of fits in that time, in that 2008. I always think of Beyonce, Sasha Fierce. It definitely goes in that, but Torn Down was excellent. Her vocals on here, the production, songwriting, like Torn Down, easily the best song in the album. I also liked Human, the song. I thought it was decent. Camouflage was decent. I feel like there was some decent moments on songs, but those are the only songs like I actually liked, and probably the only song I'm actually going to be listening to is Torn Down. She collaborated again with Darkchild for this album, and I was told that she tried to blame him for the reason why this album flopped. Blame yourself, blame the A&R, blame the executives, blame anyone who told you this album is good. How do you listen back to Human and think, oh, this is going to be big for Brandy 2008. People are going to love this album. They're going to buy copies. I don't know how you get to that point. I don't know how you get to that point, but this album, it's bad. It's bad. No Michael Jackson. I didn't enjoy my time outside of a few songs, honestly. First in Love is a trash song. I hated that song so bad. I just had to give it a moment of hate because what? Shattered Heart, like, what was she doing on that record? Like, yeah, this album was just a bunch of mid. It was, but that's a number 7, okay? And at number 6, I'm going to give it to Aphrodisiac, the album. So if you've seen some of my videos in the past, you guys know that I am not particularly fond of Aphrodisiac. Please do not tell me. You just need to give it another try. I have listened to this album 7 or 8 times at least, and every time I listen, the same thing happens. I walk out of the album with the same 4 songs that I came in with. This album is so ridiculously forgettable to me and everything, production-wise, lyrics-wise. Like, this album does not stand out to me in her catalog. And people really try to sit up here and say that this album is better than Full Moon, better than Ever Since Ever. Absolutely not. I'm sorry. I was not going to put myself through domestic terrorism again with Aphrodisiac. I know what I'm getting with this album. I know how I feel about it. No matter how many times I listen to this album, I know my opinion is not going to change. I've went back to it so many times trying to see what people see in this album, and I don't get it, okay? This album had all, like, the things behind it that you think it'd be really good because this was right after Full Moon, and then she had that whole breakup with that guy that she said that she was married to, and people found out that she wasn't. She's working with Timbaland. Like, this album, for all accounts, this should be one of her best albums, and it's just not. I don't get why people uplift this album so much. I never will, and any chance I get to hate on Aphrodisiac, I will be doing it, okay? So here are the songs that I actually enjoyed on Aphrodisiac. Aphrodisiac, the song, is excellent. It's excellent, okay? Like, it's so good. I like the video, and I did make this tweet that actually kind of popped off, and I said she was half-assing the choreography, because she kind of was, and everything. I'm kind of surprised that tweet did all that. Over like 100,000 people saw that. Aphrodisiac, the song, excellent, okay? I have Talk About Our Love featuring Kanye West. I don't listen to Kanye's parts on the song. I just listen to Brandy's parts on the song. The longest I went without even listening to this, because I don't want to listen to stuff that Kanye's on, but I just listen to her parts and I go, yeah, very, very catchy, very catchy. Think it's a great song. Just don't listen to him. Sadiddy, I like Sadiddy. Apparently people don't like Sadiddy, and I don't know why. It's one of the only good songs on the album. People keep talking about songs like Say You Will, Necessary. This album wasn't necessary outside of a few songs. I don't get the hype of this album. Album cover 8, you could give it that, but I really don't see the appeal with this album. I don't. Now to my top 5 albums. So at number 5, I have B7. You may be wondering, why would I put B7 above Aphrodisiac, okay? The songs I listen to on B7, I listen more to the songs I like in the Aphrodisiac. It's really that simple. When I do these album rankings, it's kind of a mix of like personal taste, you know, bias. Skips also have a reign in there as well. Also trying to be objective about what significance it has to their discography and all those things. So there's a bunch of things that I go in, but I go to B7 a little bit more. So most of this album is garbage. There's a song called I Am More, which uses the R word, which is awful. Some of the songs, I'm like, okay, Brandy, you just really had them play the production and you were just freestyling. Like in the beginning, like the first couple songs, I'm like, okay, we were just saying anything. Do I think the songwriting, the productions are really that great on this album? No. However, where this album shines, it shines. Okay, I got like 4 songs on on this album that I love. Okay, Borderline is one of my favorite Brandy songs of all time. My favorite part where she says karma's a bitch, baby. Like, that part eats. Okay, the whole song of it, the production, her vocals on there, like the moodiness to it, the lyrics, like Borderline is certainly a favorite for me. Okay, Say Something, excellent. It's too good. It's too good. And No Tomorrow is also excellent as well. I love No Tomorrow, and I think those three are like back to back on the track list. And what this 3-track run of this album meant to me, it can't be quantified. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So yeah, Rather Be is also an excellent song as well. So those are songs I would say that I'm fond of. Everything else, I don't really need it, to be honest with you. And so, you know, that's kind of where I stand. That's where I stand. Honestly, Brandy has a mid discography because my bottom, 4 albums, I only like a few songs off each album. But, you know, we're about to get to the really good albums, okay? And at number 4, I'm switching this to the last minute. I'm going to put her debut album, okay? I just re-listened to this before doing this video for you guys today. And so I think that this is a decent debut album. She was, what, 14, 15 when she recorded this? And she already had such a great voice, okay? Some of my favorites on this album, Baby, fantastic, fantastic. I Want to Be Down is a great lead single. I'm so glad that they convinced her that Best Friend was not the move for the lead single. I like the song, but I Want to Be Down just has that feel to it, which I really enjoy. Also, Broken Heart is a great song. Sunny Day, I like I'm Yours. So there are good songs on this album. One of my problems with this album is it runs on too long. We didn't need 3 parts of I Dedicate. Like, let's pack it up. Have 1 part of I Dedicate. So there was stuff like that. For example, I think it runs too long. This album could have been a good 10, maybe 12 tracks. I just think for the time that it came out, for it being her first album, I think it's decent. I think it's decent, okay? People hate on Brandy's debut too much to uplift Aphrodisiac, but I'll take her debut over Aphrodisiac any day. And now we're on to top 3. Number 3, I'm putting the Christmas album. That's right, Christmas with Brandy. Y'all hated on the Christmas album. Y'all hated on the Christmas album. I have a reaction to this and some of her other albums. I'll try to link my videos on Brandy below, but I did do a reaction on this. I re-listened to it last night, and I feel the Christmas album holds up, okay? Some people feel like all she did was make an R&B album with some Christmas beats basically behind it and call it a day. I can get people's criticisms in that regard. Are there times where I feel like she uses too much auto-tune and Melodyne? Yes. However, I think that this is a really good album that people should be talking about a little bit more. Am I saying it's on the tier of Mariah Carey Christmas album, Merry Christmas? No, I'm not saying that. However, it is a good Christmas album, and y'all are giving it way too much flack, in my opinion. Okay, so some of my favorite songs, Christmas Party for Two. Excellent, excellent, okay. I love her rendition of the Christmas song and also Someday at Christmas. And then there's some really good originals on here, like Somebody's Waiting, phenomenal. Shine Out Your Light is really good. I like the song that she did with her daughter as well. So you have a good mix of new and old. For the most part, I like her vocals. Like I said, too much autotune and Melodyne at parts. Production on here is pretty decent. Songwriting on the originals I think is decent. So this album is good. I'm tired of all the slander I'm seeing for Brandy's Christmas album. And also in context of her discography, yeah, it's giving. Okay, and now we're on to my number 2. I'm going to give it to her Never Say Never album. And so this album is excellent. This album is excellent, released in 1998, her sophomore album, a great sophomore effort in my opinion. And there's just so many highlights on this. Okay, some of my favorite songs on here. Almost Doesn't Count. Okay, Brandy said almost doesn't count. You know how many times I say that casually in conversation? Almost doesn't count. Almost doesn't count. And the woman who wrote that song, yeah, she was in her bag. She was in her bag. So shout out to her because that song was excellent. And that performance of Brandy singing it in 2020 for the census, that was excellent. Okay, Almost Doesn't Count. Yeah, that guitar, that production, that bridge, put that on everything. I did a video on my top 15 Brandy songs, and if I did it now, I put that on everything in my top 15, and I put The Boy's Mind in my top 15, and now I can say I was wrong. Okay, I'll admit it. Put that on everything. What's up? Somebody commented on that, and yeah, Put That On Everything is so cool because it does this thing where it repeats the bridge twice. So I love whenever songs do that, and the production here is just phenomenal. So peaceful to listen to. The vocals on here are insane. The songwriting on here, yeah, it has to be one of Brandy's best songs all time. Okay, Angel in Disguise as the first real song because there's the intro, but no one cares. Angel in Disguise, it's excellent. It's excellent. Okay, other stuff that I really like is Happy. Happy is a great record on this album. You got to give some love to the title track, Never Say Never, Learn the Hard Way. When we start getting to the point where we get to the end, and it's stuff like Tomorrow and One Voice and Everything I Do it for You. Pack it up. After Happy, the album does fall off. It does fall off. Okay, I have to be honest, this album could be shortened. And Top of the World, in one of my videos, someone commented that Aaliyah, Everything's Gonna Be Alright, they kind of felt like it was the blueprint for Top of the World. And ever since then, every time I listen to Top of the World, it just feels like a cheap version of Everything's Gonna Be Alright. Everything's Gonna Be Alright is my favorite Aaliyah song of all time. I'm very fond of that song. Top of the World, I'm just not that fond of it, okay? I didn't need that on the album, and I don't really get what people's fascination with Top of the World is, and yeah, I just don't really care for it, to be honest with you. But when she shines on this album, she shines. Her vocals on here, great. Love the productions on here. Shout out to Darkchild for what he was able to do with the productions on this. Love the songwriting on here. It's just good for that time. It's aged well. You can appreciate it. The Boy's Mind with Monica, I feel like that kind of goes without saying, but a classic. classic, okay? And I believe it's like the longest charting female duet of all time or something like that. They got that little Grammy for it. Monica was slapping her in the face on stage. A whole moment, a whole era. People don't have eras like this, okay? Brandy was working from sun up to sundown, and she had Moesha, okay? Never say never. It's iconic, it's iconic. I can get what people say it's her best album and everything, so I got it at number 2. Now onto my number 1 album, which is going to be Full Moon. I didn't even have to re-listen to Full Moon for this video because I've re-listened to it so many times. The tracks are ingrained in me, okay? And Full Moon is just everything that Brandy does best. Dark Child with this production on here, it was something serious. It was something serious. I think that it's the best album of that year, and I love that you can kind of hear Michael Jackson a little bit on this album. On stuff like It's Not Worth It, for example, you can hear Brandy a little bit on his Invincible album, which I, enjoy for the most part and everything. So I think what he did with that and all that electro R&B and all those cool elements, I when people say, oh, it sounds like Pots and Pans, you don't get it, you don't get it. I'm sorry, this album and Aaliyah's Self-Titled, they always kind of remind me of each other, and Full Moon, it's just too good. It's just too good. She shines, Dark Child shines. My favorite songs, When You Touch Me, me and my friend agree, this is Brandy's best song. This is Brandy's best song. One of her best vocal performances of all time. Production on here is beautiful. That bridge moment, yeah, she was singing like rent was due, okay? There's no way around it. When You Touch Me, it's just that record for Brandy. Very fond of this record, okay? The stuff I love, It's Not Worth It, okay? I love that part of the when she's like, not even worth this conversation right now, like that kind of part at least. And the whole kind of like chorus moment is really good on the song as well. That production as well, those little vocals at the end, hearing Michael Jackson, those parts, yeah. He is great gospel record, absolutely love he is. It's phenomenal. It's always been one of my favorites on this album, at least. All in Me, okay? The way it's like kind of more fast-paced at the beginning and then it has that slow down part, yeah, it's so good, it's so good. Also have to give some love to stuff like Wow, because people never talk about that record. That is a really good record on this album. The song with Ray J is the only skip on this album because he ruins everything as per usual. Love When It Count Me Out is a really good song on this album. Come a Little Closer, people don't talk about that one enough, so definitely have to give it some appreciation as well. What About Us is a really good lead single for this album. Full Moon, the song, I ain't even gonna front, I ain't even gonna lie. See you hopped up in the club, you can give me the eye. Oh, must be a full moon, must be a full moon. Yeah, this album is the crown jewel. It's everything that you want from Brandy. It's everything that you want from Brandy. Songwriting was trendy, but it's still really catchy to listen to, like all the hooks and stuff like that. I really enjoy. And then her vocal on here, her best vocal arrangements on an album to date. That vocal layering, that vocal stacking is on full display here. Productions by Dark Child were on fire. Very cohesive, very consistent experience all across the board. Album cover 8, era 8. Like this album deserves so much more, but she got pregnant in the middle of it, so it kind of had to be cut short. But yeah, this is the promised land. This is Brandy's best album. I'll never go for any Full Moon slander. I'm sorry, I'll never go for any Full Moon slander because how can you not give Full Moon 10s, okay? It should at least be top 2, top 3 in any Brandy ranking. I'm sorry. And so yes, that is going to be my ranking of Brandy's album. So to recap, I'll have something on the screen that kind of shows you my favorites. So at number 1, I'm going to have Full Moon. At number 2, I'm going to have Never Say Never. At number 3, I'm going to have her Christmas album, Christmas with Brandy, I believe it's called. Number 4 is going to be Debut. Number 5 is going to be 7. Number 6 is going to be Aphrodisiac. Number 7 is going to be Human. Number 8 is going to be 211. So that's going to be my ranking of Brandy's albums. I'm not counting that family business that she does because who really gives a fuck? Like, who's listening to that? I don't really count it as part of her album. But yeah, I don't know. I'm glad somebody suggested that I do this video. I need to do more discography rankings. When I was doing the Michael Jackson one, I was putting in my playlist. It's been years since I've done one. So I should probably do more of these, talk about people's discographies more as a whole in totality. So let me know who discography you would like me to rank next and everything. But yeah, I hope we get another Brandy album soon. I'd love a Mariah collaboration. I'm fond of Brandy, okay? Brandy is definitely one of my favorite singers of all time. Definitely up there in my top 10. Brandy's definitely underrated, and Mariah was literally how I got into Brandy. So I got appreciation for the vocal layering, the vocal stacking, what she's done, and she has a lot of great music, okay? So let me know what you guys think down below. How would you rank Brandy's discography? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I'm gonna hear a lot for the Aphrodisiac and the 211 slander. It's my ranking, but let me know what you guys think below, your favorite songs, all that. We can continue that conversation. Like I said, all my videos on Brandy will be linked down below. Also forgot to talk about it for a second, but I got this D-Hop Cardinals jersey on. It was on sale and everything, but yeah, I don't know. I love the aesthetic. I love the look and everything. D-Hop's on the Chiefs. You guys know the Chiefs are my team and everything. But yeah, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it, and I wanted to wear it for a video. So yeah, this is what I got on. This is what I got on. I would be remiss if I didn't mention. That's going to be it for the video though. Thank you guys so much for watching it. If you did enjoy it, give it a like below. It helps me out a lot into the algorithm. I very much appreciate it. You can subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this. If it's a bell, I get a notification when I post. So not missing Brandy videos come out. I'm doing album reactions. I'm doing album reviews every single week on this channel. The Grammys are happening on Sunday. Every year I do my predictions as to who I think is going to win, and I talk about who I would like to win those awards, and I always review it, okay? So next week that is going to be on video reviewing the Grammys and everything, so stay tuned for that. So first link down in the description is going to be my second YouTube channel. So as far as some of the stuff I've done recently, I talked about my top 3 dance pop albums of the 2020. I found this post on Twitter, gave my top 3, gave my favorite best-selling female albums of all time. I talked about what's going on with SZA's career and the whole Punch situation. What do I think she should do next? I talked about my favorite quarterback cadences. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes back here. I have a series called Generational Hate where I talk about artists that I hate and people that I hate and why. My last episode was on Elton John, so you guys guys can check that out. My next episode's already done. Not gonna tell you what it is, but it will be coming out shortly, so check that out. Episode 7, Elton John. I ranked Britney Spears' opening tracks on her albums. I talked about the Patriots Dynasty documentary. I gave my own review of it, my take on it. I talked about the recent NFL games and stuff like that. I forgot to talk, I have all the stuff about back here, but I got my Patrick behind me, got my Angel Reese. Y'all hate on her too much, as I always say. Got my Sam Donald, got my Jordan Love. There's a Joe Burrow coming up there. You can't see it. I might put it on the screen so you guys can see. That's the typical stuff that I do on my second channel, just talking about whatever I want, so you guys can subscribe over there. Thank you guys for 10,000 subscribers. That is crazy. Now we're at 10.1K. Don't take any of these milestones for granted, especially 10,000. I honestly am really shocked by this. I'm very appreciative of everyone's support. You guys can check me out on the second channel. And so also I'm gonna have my social media down below. So Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, Airbuzz, if you guys would like to follow me and all those things below. Free Palestine, we must educate ourselves on this. Fuck Trump, you know I don't support that man and everything. All my things to kind of educate people on various things that are going on in the world down below. If there's anything else you guys think that I should do or put, let me know. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.